Good afternoon, fourth grade. Today we're going to continue reading in our novel, The Red Pyramid. Before we get started, we have a quick write. It says, how has Carter's perspective of himself changed since walking through the Hall of Ages? Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. Our focus question for today is, how does Sadie respond to challenges and new experiences? What does her past evidence reveal about her as a person? Okay, so we're going to be focusing in on Sadie today and Carter tomorrow. Our focus standard is analyzing a character's development and reaction to experiences and using the text illustrations and text features to support your answer. Our vocabulary words are estranged, and that's when you are separated from your family or you and someone else are no longer friends. You are estranged. This father is estranged from his family. They are separated. The second word is elude, and that's when you escape a situation in like a skillful or a sneaky way. And so this football player is eluding the tackle because he is so fast. And the last one is quarrel, and that's an argument between two people. All right, go ahead and turn the page, and we're going to use our CSPS strategy and focus on Sadie. And we are in the part in chapter 3 where Sadie is pulled out of the painting by Iskandar. All right, so we're in this middle box. Iskandar, huff, forgive the interruption, but you were almost dead. Your ba left your body and entered the past. Haven't you been warned? You speak perfect English? I speak many languages. I prefer my birth tongue, Alexandrian Greek. You saw a very old event, Sadie, Set taking the throne of Egypt by force. He hid Osiris's coffin, and Isis searched the entire world to find it. And how'd that go? Osiris was resurrected, but only in the underworld as king of the dead. Their son Horus challenged Set when he grew up, prevailing after many hard battles. That is why Horus is called the Avenger. Top of the page. It's an old story, but one that the gods have repeated many times in our history. Gods follow patterns, you see, acting out the same squabble, the same jealousies through the ages, only the settings change and the host. Humans, you mean? Yes, though the gods can inhabit powerful objects, they prefer human form. The gods' power is great, but they lack humans' creativity, our ability to change history rather than simply repeat it. So that means it's good when humans host, right? Humans can, how do you moderns say it, think outside the cup? Then why is it against the law to host gods? Okay, and we'll stop right there before Iskandar gives his explanation, because we have information about our character and our setting. All right, we know in box 1A that Sadie escapes Set, and Iskandar pulls her out of the painting. And so in box 1A, we would write, while Sadie is escaping Set, Isis tells her to avenge Osiris and crown Horus king. Then Iskandar pulls her out of the painting. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. All right, and for the quote, we would write what Isis tells Sadie in this top box. Sadie, you must escape, avenge Osiris, crown Horus king. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the setting. All right, and it says, for the setting, we know that Sadie and Iskandar are in the Hall of Ages at night. And so in box 2, we would write, Sadie is in the Hall of Ages at night with Iskandar. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And the quote that tells us that they're in the Hall of Ages at night is Iskandar when he says in the middle box, your ba left your body and entered the past. Hadn't you been warned? Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the problem. Okay, and Iskandar tells Sadie the problem with the gods interacting in human life. And he says that these gods just have the same fights over and over again, but the hosts and the settings change. And he was about to explain to her why it's against the law for these humans to get involved, for the humans to host the gods. And so for your problem, in box 3A, you would write, the gods act out the same fights over and over again. They just change hosts and settings, but it's against the law for humans to host gods. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, you would write down this quote at the top of the page that says, gods follow patterns you see, acting out the same squabbles, the same jealousies through the ages. Only the settings change and the host. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. Okay, and so now Iskandar explains to Sadie why it's against the law to host the gods. Okay, and we need to see how Sadie responds to this, and then what Iskandar says back to her. All right, we're in the middle of the page. When Egypt fell to the Romans, my spirit was crushed. It became clear to me, that mankind no longer had the strength of will to master a God's power. That he's saying that men couldn't resist the gods, that they were just letting them totally take over so that they could be powerful, and that was not good. At the same time, the Ptolemaic rulers had driven Egypt to the ground. My own brethren of the house had become lazy and corrupt. The gods were using men to act out their petty quarrels. The only humans who could, known as the blood of the pharaohs, seemed weak and deluded, lost forever. I communed with Thoth, and we agreed. The gods must be put away, and the magicians must find their way without them. The new rulers kept the house of life intact until now. At the time, it was the right choice. But you couldn't possibly be old enough to remember Ptolemaic times. When Egypt fell, many of our most powerful secrets were lost, including the spells my master used to extend my life. Magicians these days still live long, sometimes centuries, but I've been alive for 2 millennia. Right, and now you want to kill our family because of something my dad did? Go ahead and turn the page, top of the page. Your father performed the spells, but it was your mother who led him to it. So you're saying it's my mom's fault? Aside from being a brilliant scientist, your mother had the gift of one of the rarest forms of magic, divination. Seeing the future. Tricky business, never perfect, but she saw things that made her seek advice from unconventional places. Your mother foresaw a great imbalance, the day very soon when Ma'at would be destroyed and chaos would reclaim all of creation. She insisted that only the gods and the house together could prevail. The path of the gods would have to be re-established. I knew in my heart your mother was right, but I refused to believe, and your parents took it upon themselves to act. They sacrificed themselves trying to put things right because I was too stubborn to change. For that I am truly sorry, and I was a foolish man. When the time comes, Zia will know how to help you. She is my best pupil, and she is wise. Right, Zia. You now should rest, my dear. I have tended these memories for thousands of years. It seems I too can rest at last. With rest at last, I went straight to sleep. All right, we'll stop right there because Iskantar gives Sadie his opinion of what the House of Life should do. And in box 4A, you can write, the House of Life put the gods away, but Sadie's mom and Julius let them out. Iskantar believes that what Sadie's parents did was for the best. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And Iskantar says in the middle, over here, this bottom bubble, they sacrificed themselves trying to put things right because I was too stubborn to change. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the paragraph. And for the paragraph, it says, how does the journey through the Hall of Ages affect Sadie? All right, and you can talk about what Sadie learned from Iskantar in box 3 and how they both responded in box 4.